Yo, how's it going? I'm going to take my picture, go through the usual rituals of the day. I think from now on I may do it always. I know, okay, because from now on I think there is going to be less light, so maybe the flash will become even more necessary. Okay, so first, lunch. What did I do yesterday? And then I'll talk about what I wanted to talk and record the video. So, for lunch yesterday, dinner yesterday, it was Sunday, so I had this kind of French toast that my dad makes with ham. Not bad, a little bit too filling, I guess, because it's repetitive. Oh, also with like a little tomato salad, just like tomato and olive oil. And for today, first dish was, oh yeah, Cuban style rice. So basically rice, tomato paste, or like, yeah, kind of, I don't know how it's called. It's not ketchup, but it's kind of a tomato sauce. And egg. And then second dish, it was some kind of fish. Emperor fish, apparently. Swordfish. I don't know how it's called in English. With potatoes and some kind of cheese. Well, not sure if cheese. Kind of egg-based sauce on top. Then what did I do yesterday? I watched a movie. Yesterday I went to bed earlier because today I had the call. So on the afternoon I played PUBG with a little bit of PUBG, I think, with the friends after streaming. Then not much else. Then I watched a movie at night. Watched some YouTube, I guess. And today I read a little bit of a book after the interview and all this, and yeah, basically was on Twitter and on like Instagram, I guess. So yeah, that was the day. And today, and yeah, while walking, I was like walking and reading a book. Took basically all of the morning, and I'm tired because I didn't sleep super well, because I never sleep well if I'm kind of nervous. And I take longer to fall asleep, and then I have to wake up at a certain time because of the fucking call. So I'm sleepy. And I have the information on that I gathered on this first introductory call here. So the program itself has already started, the railway person program. I know what you mean. I slept awful. Sad. Sorry to hear. It reminds me of when I went to uni a little bit. Even though when I went to uni, I was no longer, I guess, nervous, right? But it's kind of like when I travel. But when I travel, at least I have energy, and it's cool because I'm doing something cool, right? Which is traveling. But when I'm... Plus, it feels like accomplishing. But when I'm just tired like this, it feels like going to university again, that kind of thing, right? That you are tired from going to class or something. And yeah. But yeah, basically the conditions that the job has, I think they say they will call me again for like the next interview, but they haven't yet, so I don't know. But yeah, they said, like she said, that she would contact me for that. She has first to talk about all of that. And she mentioned to me the conditions, which were from October until January. They have already, it started in July, the program apparently, but for people who are like learning German online still. Then on October, it starts to take people start, like the German lessons start physically in October with a B1 level, and then if from January to March they start with a B2. So it's decent. It's getting me to B2 and I'm getting paid, which is cool. Then from April, a year almost, 11 months of railway training. Then after that, 4 months of practice or whatever, right? Internship, like, but I guess I would assume like physically on a train, right? It's in Munich and it's for the S-Bahn, which is cool. I liked the S-Bahn. I thought it was interesting. And I have I don't have it downloaded, but yeah. Then June 2026 is when it would end, I guess, right? 11 months after April, then 4 months of like practices or whatever. You end in 2026 with the contract of trains, of like working as a Lokführer, and then you have to be like 2 years if you don't want to get a penalty. And there is no penalty though if you kind of climb up in the company, because like after like a year, or she said something, after like a year and change, if you move up into the company as so maybe like engineering or something like that, then there is no penalty. And I'm like, okay, interesting. And the payment I get while I learn German is 800 euros per month, which is pretty cool, to be honest. It's more than I expected. I expected something like 500. It's not like crazy money, right? But I'm going to be living with my parents and it's more than nothing. So this sounds dope. Then the professional, this is like an Ausbildung, I think. So it's probably like that lower class type of shit. But I don't know, I'm getting paid like 3,000 euros per month. But this is like brutto. I made the calculations, which are like, it's like something like 2,400 netto, something like 2,400 netto. And this is like in only 12 months, right? Because in Spain, we have like 14 months. So it's like, if I converted it to Spanish, it would be something like 2,000 euros, 14 months, right? Then this is while I am working. And the house would cost 400 euros. She said from 200 to 400. When I was in Munich, mine costed 326 euros. And it was a single room. And she said it's like studio apartments, actually, something like that. She kind of described it as a studio where I get my own kitchen and my own bathroom, which I'm not sure. But if she said it, I don't know, I guess I should believe it. But yeah, I don't know. For like 400 euros in Munich, it's good, right? My friend is renting a flat, a whole-ass flat for like 400 and change. 450, I think, or something. And it's like a whole-ass flat in Leipzig. But it is still kind of a studio flat, right? He has the kitchen and the room and the bed and all this in the same room, and a separate bathroom that is very big for some reason. But yeah, and he's in Leipzig. He's not in like Munich. and then 3600 brutto. Nettorechner. 3600 Monat. I leave all of this as default. I don't know what Steuerklasse it is, to be honest. But maybe I am Klasse 1. Ledige vertweetete oder geschiedene ohne Kinder. I am ohne Kinder, right? Let's see, trans imágenes, boop, permitir. From detect here. Single, widowed, and or divorced people without children. Okay, I'm going to put you here so I can read you. Yeah, it should be Klasse 1. Oh, so it's even less maybe. Let's see. Klasse 1. So 3200 first. It's Bundesland Bayern. Ihr Alter 82. Will I be? Well, let's say 27. I think I'm still 27 until July. Most of it I will be 28, but I don't know what this is. Jährlich Freibetrag. Tax-free allowance. I think 0. Geldwerter Vorteil. Non-cash benefit. No idea what this means. And I leave this as default. Berechnen. 21. Oh shit. It's even less. 2100. Damn, that's very little. Okay. So it's actually 2100 netto. Then the other one would be like this, 3600, bloop. Wait. Klasse 1 again, 2300. So yeah, these are the numbers. Yeah, some questions that they could ask on the interview, right? And I asked her a little bit about. Am I back? Hello. Bro, I hate this. Why is this computer so fucking stupid? Well, I'm not sure if it's the computer, if it's the internet, or what. But yeah, am I back? I think so, right? So yeah, I was saying that they ask these kind of questions like how much does a train weigh, how long does it take to whatever. Like they ask for curiosity, and they would ask like knowledge about like actually what the actual day of a train driver looks like, and also emphasizing security. So like of the tasks that the driver has to do, right? Like reversing brakes, being communicative, as in like customer satisfaction, right? That the driver doesn't just drive the train. And as I said it, he doesn't just do like this and this, right? He also requires to communicate well and to care about like the client satisfaction. So if there are delays, right, you have to be like communicative about it or something like this. And she told me that there is like a YouTube channel about the S-Bahn, but I didn't find it so far, so maybe I will write her an email about it. And yeah. And I asked her some things like, so what things could they value, right? And she said this kind of technical background, they may ask about it or value it or whatever. And yeah, then she said some more of these things, right? So yeah, I don't know. Let's see what happens. I mean, this is like thinking that they take me. I assume they will take me, right? Because she did say something like they need people, right? I asked her, why do you need people, right? And she said, because young people in Germany don't want to be train drivers or whatever, and that there are also like going to be like many of the drivers that they have, they are old, right? So they want to retire and all that, right? So I was like, oh, okay, interesting. I didn't know what to say, right? Maybe I should have pressed a little bit more, so like, or something. But yeah, that was basically it. Oh, and the classes in English, sorry, the German classes will be like Monday to Friday, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., which is crazy. 5 hours. What am I going to do 5 hours? But yeah, that's good, right? That means it's intensive. I mean, to go from a B1 to a B2 in like 6 months, you probably don't need to be spending like 5 hours or something like this, right? Per day on it. Plus, they probably give you homework and shit. So it's even more hours. But yeah, I'm good. It's good. I want to. It's good, right? I learn thing, even if it comes with the catch, right? I assume it's like a trap for retarded people, right? It's like if you're stupid enough to get lured, it's like you get lured by some upfront cash, and then they retain you for 2 years, right? I don't know. I think it's a fair trade deal, right? It's like if you're willing to, and like right now, I need the fronting, right? So I'll take it. Oh, I wanted to look up if there are. I was thinking it's like it. I haven't even started this step, but I'm already thinking of the next one. Right? So I'm thinking, okay, after the 2 years pass, I want to do the same, but for planes. Right? Is there a plane school that upfronts you money and then they do that or something like this? So I was just going to ask Perplexity. I may join a train driving program where they pay me to learn German, then to get the train driver license, then what? Then you have to work for them for 2 years. Are there similar programs for planes or helicopters? Or let's say trucks? Zero time to airline program. transitioning from zero-time student to working as a mentor instructor in as little as 6 months, and another dream position as a career helicopter pilot in 18 to 24 months. Interesting. Yeah, but the private, if you need the private pilot certificate, I don't know. I will have to look it up in my next stage, I guess. Dumb. 4-week private pilot. Commercial pilot. Career program. Let's see. Jesus! 18 weeks is so little. $50,000. That's insane. Let's see. Me lo traduces al español, me lo traduces al español. I think the problem with this is that ChatGPT, this tool, always looks up stuff in English. Sí, Flight School USA, curso gratuito para trabajar de camionero en Alemania. Interesting, let's see. So apparently there is something like that. Let's see if it's still up. What the fuck? It was from before 2023. They ask to not have completed a training and not have worked for a long time in some profession. Okay. So I think maybe now I would have to just do it on my own, I guess. Let's see. Controla. Foro coches, camionero, Alemania. He just went there and did it. €14,000 the training. Jesus. But this is for bus driver. And people are saying that he earns less than something. Serious Maker, hi. Hello. How's it going? Are you still here? I'm looking at information about licenses around the world. Suban Strugenbach. Yo, I might be gone in a few minutes. A friend called me to hang out. Okay. I'll record the video then. Okay. Well, not that there is like any... €4,000 the license. Interesting. So yeah, anyways, let's go back to the video idea that I had, this one. I don't know, I'm feeling less enthusiastic about this idea. Basically, the topic of the video was going to be something like, I called it accuracy in pejoratives, which is basically kind of how... the problem is that in English, it's a video that it's harder to make, I guess, because those pejoratives I got called in Spanish, right? So it's hard to translate everything. But yeah, basically, I thought that it was interesting the kind of pejoratives that people use, right? And how offensive I find them, I guess. Because there is one that I got called that was notas, basically. And some guy called me notas once. It's kind of a half pejorative, more or less. And it means something like marks, as in like good marks or bad marks in class, right? And I thought it was funny, right? Even though it has the same kind of connotation as like nerd or something like this, right? In Spanish, there is a term for nerd called empollón, but empollón has the connotation of someone who studies a lot, right? And I didn't study a lot, so to me it never felt right. But it's not like anyone called me that either, right? But the other one, notas, just means marks, right? So it's kind of like a pejorative for saying that you have high marks, which I thought it was interesting, right? And I started calling it to my brother, and I called him like that because I got it called once or something, but I thought it was funny, right? It was kind of a funny pejorative to be called. But I think it was more fun. It was funnier because it was accurate, I guess, right? If it's accurate, it's harder to take it badly, even if it's supposed to be a little bit offensive, right? So yeah, that was the first pejorative that I thought of, and then the second pejorative that I thought of was a Chinese person or something like this. In Spanish, they say like chino de mierda, which basically means like shitty Chinese or something, right? And I got really offended at that because I am not Chinese, right? It's not like I hate the Chinese people or something or whatever. And obviously the fact that people say it to be mean, right? It's obviously very offensive, but it's like added insult to injury is the fact that it's inaccurate, right? If there was an insult specifically for Japanese people like there is in the US, for example, right? I wonder how I would have reacted. Because, for example, there is then one kid called me this whenever he saw me on because he wasn't even in my class, he was like 2 years younger or something like this. So I saw him sometimes outside school, right? And he would say something, he would start saying that, right? He started saying something like this. And then he switched to saying something like Japanese instead, right? So it was interesting. It still was annoying, right? But it was, I guess, a small victory in a sense. Oh, gotta go, but have a good rest of the stream. Okay, bye. Accuracy in pejoratives. So this is a topic that came up to me while I was walking and remembering some pejoratives that I've been called, but some of them I took them in a more in a lighter way, and some of them I took them kind of more to heart, and I was kind of reflecting back on it and why it was. So the first pejorative that I want to talk about is notas, which in Spanish means marks, as in grades. The marks you get in an exam test, or the grade that you get on a subject, something like this, right? Those are called like notes, notas. And that is a pejorative that I got called once, I think, by I think it was a classmate, maybe it was someone from another class, I think it was a classmate, right? Because I used to have very high marks, right? And even though it's a pejorative and it was said in this kind of funny but offensive way, right? So it had both factors, but I found it funny, right? And it stuck with me in a funny way, and I don't have like hate towards the person who said it or whatever. Even though I kind of know that deep down the intentions probably weren't like good, I don't know. It's like I can't hate a funny and especially an accurate pejorative, right? Because there are other ways of saying the same thing, right? This is a pejorative now that it's used in a more general way, right? It's like people are called notas when they do something. Yeah, when they do something stupid, when they do something to get attention, it's like a very generic pejorative. But this origin of like calling someone that because they have high marks, right? It's like when they are being, I guess, pedant or pedantic or something like that, right? But if it originates in this kind of getting high marks, I think it is, I guess, a fair way of characterizing someone. Well, not a fair way of characterizing someone, but something like that, right? Accuracy in pejoratives. So I was thinking about this topic because I was thinking about a particular pejorative that I got called and how it affected me versus another one that didn't affect me that affected me more, and the difference between those in kind of tone and also especially in accuracy, right? That is kind of the key point of it. The first one is notas, which is Spanish for marks, grades in this case, right? So the story behind this is that one guy in my class, I think offhandedly called me notas once, right? So a way of referring to me by my high marks, right? But this is a pejorative because it's used in colloquial use, is basically referred to someone who is, for to many different people at once. In this page, for example, it says that it is basically referred to people who are like showy, right? Because there is a thing. Yeah, because there is an expression that is said to be dar la nota, and there are others, and people say that it comes from music to the note aspect, as in musical note aspect of nota, but this here it also says that it can be used to someone who to someone that excels at something in a positive or negative way, right? So it has those meanings, I guess. Accuracy in pejoratives. So I was thinking about this topic walking today because I thought of a couple pejoratives and how they have affected me differently. And one of the reasons why they have affected me differently is the accuracy that I perceived from this insult. The first one is called notas, and I had the theory that it came from having high marks, and the person who said it in that either double meaning or in that sense. But yeah, the actual theoretical use that I have seen in this page, it says that it comes from maybe the musical side of the meaning note, basically meaning noisy or something, or basically it's of the verb hacerse notar or something like this, right? To get noticed. But in Spanish, it also means marks. So the word marks is called notas. So when you get graded, marked in tests, the thing you get back, that's called nota, right? So I did get good marks. So I thought it was accurate to refer to me that way, even though it was obviously a pejorative or like, even if in a fun way, it's still kind of a pejorative way. But I thought it was true. So I didn't take offense at it. For example, I would have taken offense to people calling me, I guess, straight up nerd or something like this, because in Spanish the word nerd is translated as empollón, which literally means person who studies a lot. Empollar means like study. And I didn't study, right? I didn't actually study, so I would have perceived it inaccurately. Then, the second thing that I was thinking of was chino. Chino, specifically chino de mierda, is like shitty Chinese or like Chinese person, right? Means basically that, right? It's all could be the equivalent of the this slur, the CHINK slur, right? That we have in our language. And I got called that and I took offense of it, right? And to me, it was like kind of really infuriating, right? I was a sensitive person back then, so it obviously had an effect that, and it's obviously used in a very alienating way, right? It's used in an othering way, so it's like offensive in that sense. It's like basically racism, right? So yeah, it's obviously very offensive, specifically for me, right? But in Spanish, we don't have this kind of insult, or like people didn't use that insult to regarding Japanese race, right? They used specifically Chinese race because of the kind of immigration tendencies that there have been here in Spain. I guess the most common Asian nationality is Chinese, right? Or probably the globally most common nationality of Asian person is Chinese, right? So that is what gets thrown around, right? And I took offense of it, right? It's not like I hate China or whatever, right? To be honest, I think China is pretty cool. And now, for example, maybe even because of these things, I am quite interested in China, and I always kind of relate to East Asian people in general, in like, well, not in general, more like East Asian people in the West, to experiences by these people because of shared, I don't know, I do feel some kind of shared connection between these people, right? But I took great offense at being called this because it was inaccurate, right? It was like I'm getting insulted, but something that I am not, right? It's like if I was something like this and I got it used against me, okay, that is sad, but at least I am that, right? But the problem, I don't know, to me, it's like not just the problem, but a second part. It's like the second part of the problem was that it was untrue. And these pejoratives, I guess, what made especially the second one, make me think about humor and all of this, right? For example, specifically racist humor in this sense, right? I think that there are people who do racist humor, you could say, in a good way. For example, Andrew Schulz. Andrew Schulz. He has a lot of, I guess, racist stuff, right? He has a lot of videos like highlighting race and all of this, but he does this in a very tasteful way, right? He has actual knowledge about things. When he makes a racist joke about Filipinos, it's like you can tell that it's the kind of joke that the Filipinos would say with knowledge of it, right? Or when he talks about black people, he knows about black culture, and then he also knows about different specific the kinds of black people, right? He knows about like black Americans, and then he can differentiate between like black people from origin, right? And the kind of nuance, that kind of knowledge, that kind of taste that comes with it is good and it's funny, right? I think he does it very well. Same, for example, here with Middle East, right? He can tell very Middle Eastern jokes that people from the Middle East find funny, right? So he can tell different jokes from like neighboring countries, right? Which is difficult, right? If you're stereotyping the Middle East as the Middle East, right? But in the title, but then you differentiate the different Middle Eastern countries, like the little rivalries that they have between each other, right? Well, maybe little in the Middle East is particularly, it's not the best word, but you get what I mean, right? Not Israel and Palestine necessarily, right? But for example, right, Egypt and Libya or some things like this, right? And I think this kind of humor, I don't want to say elevated or whatever, right? It's just knowledgeable humor, right? It's humor from someone who has done the work. It's very contrasting with humor that is kind of put in the same category, aka politically incorrect humor, that is basically not funny, right? That's the problem. That is basically just age-old stereotypes, or like decades-old stereotypes that don't even hold up today. Things about crime that are just basically stereotyping someone as a criminal, these kind of things, right? That are not funny, basically. For example, saw a video yesterday of a couple of days ago of a girl who is half Romanian, and she calls herself all of these kind of self-deprecating jokes about like Romanians stealing things. But even herself recognizes that she doesn't even know any Romanian that has stolen anything, right? Which I guess has a counterpoint in humor because of the absurdity, contrasting the absurdity of the stereotype with reality or something like this, right? Or contrasting how it's old, but it feels like an outdated joke. It's like 1950s humor today, right? I don't know. And it's not that it's illegal, that it should be illegal, or that if you laugh at it, you are the devil or something, right? It's just that it's just that to me it's lazy humor, right? I have a friend, for example, who basically all of the songs he sings are from YouTubers who make these kind of edgy type jokes, right? And they are boring, right? It's like they they are always the same joke sung in different ways, right? Which gets old pretty quickly, right? And has no twist to it, has no punchline, has a little bit of factor of catchiness or something, but yeah, I don't know. It's very repetitive. Oops, sorry. How are you? Who are you? How's it going? I'm right now pausing in between of a video recording. I was thinking of how to end the video. So yeah, these are the things that I had to say about pejoratives and the accuracy of it, right? And how I think that contributes to offense and humor, right? It's how to tread this line, I guess. And yeah, that is what I had to say today. Thank you for watching. I don't have any particular recommendations that I can think of based on this, so I will probably just let YouTube decide what you have to watch. And yeah, goodbye. Accuracy in pejoratives. About this topic, because I thought of a couple of pejoratives and how they have affected me differently. And one of the reasons why they have affected me differently is the accuracy that I perceived from this insult. The first one is called notas, and I had the theory that it came from having high marks, and the person who said it in that either double meaning or in that sense. But yeah, the actual theoretical use that I have seen in this page, it says that it comes from maybe the musical side of it, the meaning note, basically meaning noisy or something, or to, yeah, basically it's of the verb hacerse notar or something like this, right? To get noticed. But in Spanish, it also means marks. So the word marks is called nota. So when you get graded mark in tests, the thing you get back, that's called nota, right? So I did get good marks. So I thought it was accurate to refer to me that way, even though it was obviously a pejorative, or like, clearly enough, if you have a way, it's still kind of a pejorative way. But I thought it was true.
so I didn't take offense at it. For example, I would have taken offense to people calling me, I guess, straight up nerd or something like this, because in Spanish the word nerd is translated as empollón, which literally means person who studies a lot. Empollar means like study. And I didn't study. I didn't actually study, so I would have received it inaccurately. Then the second thing that I was thinking of was Chino. Chino, specifically Chino de mierda, is like shitty Chinese or like Chinese person, right? Means basically that, right? It's all could be the equivalent of this slur, the CHINK slur, right? That we have in our language. And I got called that, and I took offense of it, right? And to me it was like kind of really infuriating, right? I was a sensitive person back then, so it obviously had an effect, and it's obviously used in a very alienating way, right? It's used in an othering way, so it's like offensive in the sense, it's like basically racism, right? So yeah, it's obviously really offensive, specifically for me, right? But in Spanish, we don't have this kind of insult, or like people didn't use that insult regarding Japanese race, right? They use specifically Chinese because of the kind of immigration tendencies that they have been
watching my own video.
The most common Asian nationality is Chinese, right? Or probably the globally most common nationality of Asian person is Chinese, right? So that is what gets thrown around, right? And I took offense of it, right? It's not like I hate China or whatever, right? To be honest, I think
I am timestamping my own video so that it's timestamped, and I'm going to upload it right now.
And now, for example, maybe even because of these things, I am quite interested in China, and I always kind of relate to East Asian people in general, not in general, more like East Asian people in the West, to experiences by the shared, I don't know, I feel some kind of shared connection between these people, right? But I took great offense at being called this because it was inaccurate. It was like I'm getting insulted at something that I am not, right? It's like if I was something like this and I got it used against me, okay, that is sad, but at least I am that, right? But the problem, I don't know, to me, it's like not just the problem, but a second part, it's like the second part of the problem was that it was untrue. And yeah.
53, this was humor, I guess. Humor done well.
These pejoratives, I guess, what made me, especially the second one, make me think about humor and all of this, right? And for example, specifically racist humor in this sense, right? I think that there are people who do racist humor, we could say, in a good way. For example, Andrew Schultz, he has a lot of, I guess, racist stuff, right? He has a lot of videos, like highlighting race and all of this, but he does this in a very tasteful way, right? He has actual knowledge about things. When he makes a racist joke about Filipinos, it's like you can tell that it's the kind of joke that the Filipinos wouldn't say, I would say, with knowledge of it, right? Or when he talks about black people, he knows about black culture, and then he also knows about different specific kinds of black people, right? He knows about like black Americans, and then he can differentiate between black people from origin, right? And those, the kind of nuance, that kind of knowledge, that kind of taste that comes with it is good and it's funny, right? I think he does it very well. Same, for example, here with Middle East, right? He can tell the Middle Eastern jokes that people from the Middle East find funny, right? So he can tell different jokes from like neighboring countries, right? Which is difficult, right? If you say the Middle East as the Middle East, right? But in the title, but then you differentiate the different Middle Eastern countries, the little rivalries that they have between each other, right? Well, maybe little in the Middle East particularly, it's not the best word, but you get what I mean, right? Not Israel and Palestine necessarily, right? Because, for example, right, Egypt and Libya or some things like this, right? And I think this kind of humor, I don't want to elevate it or whatever, right? It's just knowledgeable humor. It's humor from someone who has done the work. It's very contrasting with humor that is kind of just knowledgeable, first word, but you get what I mean, right? Not Israel and Palestine necessarily, right? For example, right, Egypt and Libya or some things like this, right? And I think this kind of humor, I don't want to say elevated or whatever, right? It's just knowledgeable humor, right? It's humor from someone who has done the work. It's very contrasting with humor that is kind of put in the same category, okay, politically incorrect humor, that is basically not funny, right? That's the problem. That is basically just age-old stereotypes, like decades-old stereotypes that don't even hold up today. Things about crime that are just basically stereotyping someone a criminal, these kind of things, right? That are not funny, basically. For example, I saw a video yesterday of a couple of days ago of a girl who is half Romanian, and she calls herself all of these kind of self-deprecating jokes about like Romanians stealing things, but even her herself recognizes that she doesn't even know any Romanian that has stolen anything, right? Which I guess has a counterpoint in humor because of the absurdity, contrasting the absurdity of the stereotype with reality or something like this, right? Or constructing how it's old, but it feels like an outdated joke. It's like 1950s humor today, right? And it's not that it's illegal, that it should be illegal, or that if you laugh at it, you are the devil or something, right? It's just that to me it's lazy humor, right? I have a friend, for example, who basically all of the songs he sings are from YouTubers who make this kind of edit type jokes, right? And they are boring, right? It's like they are always the same joke sung in different ways, right? Which gets old pretty quickly, right? And has no twist to it, has no punchline, has a little bit of factor of catchiness or something, but yeah, I don't know, it's very repetitive. So yeah, these are the things that I have to say about pejorative. So yeah, these are the things that I have to say about pejoratives and the accuracy of it, right? And how I think that contributes to offense and humor, right? It's how to treat this language. And yeah, that is what I have to say today. Thank you for watching. I don't have any particular recommendations that I can think of based on this, so I will probably just let you to decide what you have to watch. And yeah, goodbye. Accuracy in pejoratives.
based on this, so I will probably just let YouTube decide what you have to watch. And yeah, goodbye.
Yeah. เขาขอโทษนะครับที่ขับรถชนเมื่อกี้คือเขาไม่รู้ว่าเบรกอยู่ฝั่งไหน
and then it was a mistake.
How much is it? Let me see. What that say?
All right.
How much is that in America?
That says 1,500 baht, 7,000 baht, 2,700 baht.
What?
Oh shoot, there's a lot, dude. In total, it's 17,900. Not US. Baht.
How much is that U.S.?
Yo, that's gonna be like 700.
Oh, that's that's good. That's good.
I
I bet. Hold on, wait. Check. How much is 17,900 in Thailand? 500. All right, that's easy. That's easy. I bet 500. I bet 500. I bet.
I bet.
In Jelly Car Worlds are actually a completely custom soft body physics engine I made. That's how you can see the car get completely squished like that and then pop back into shape. Yeah, you can't get something like that from an off-the-shelf physics engine, so I had to write my own. Custom physics, that's a big advantage. I assume your next game will use it too? No, my next game is an arcade driving game about rally racing in parking garages, and it looks like a Sega Saturn game.
How did you pull off those physics?
Yeah, the physics in Jelly Car Worlds are actually completely custom.
Oops. I'm still streaming. Hey Quadro, how's it going? I forgot I was still streaming. I thought I had ended the stream when I uploaded the video. I just uploaded a video. This one. So I posted it on Twitter and I started reading Twitter. It's addicting. How are you? I don't have a lot to say today. Oh, in case you weren't here before, I talked about the train thing, the train job thing. These are the conditions. I get paid for 800 euros for learning German until March. Then I get paid 200 euros, 2,000 euros net per month, paying 400 euros in rent in Munich while learning. And then I get paid 2,300 euros per month net for 2 years, at least 2 years, working as a railway person. That's the thing. Be chilling without the chilling. Sad. I've been normal, I guess. And yeah, then I got given some tips to like for the interview or whatever. And yeah, I guess the world is sad. There are no free lunches, right? But I mean, it's a decent deal, right? 2,100 euros, reasonably. Yeah, it's fine. This is less than I expected, to be honest, because I did the calculation wrong before. Brutto, netto, 36 to 23. It's more taxes than I expected, to be honest. But I guess it makes sense. I hope it ends up being a little bit more for some reason or something. But if not, I guess, and I can find like a decent ish, I will just spend 2 years earning that and then move, right? And then do something else. It's like it's not bad for 2 years. It's like if it's very little and I find it to be very little, I will use that as a motivating force to upend my game at the end of this, right? I will use those 2 years to elevate my whatever, to raise my earning potential. And if not, I will. And if I find them good enough for living and all this, I will just leave, right? I was trying to find before if there are opportunities like this one, but instead of railway, for example, for other positions, like for other driving things, like trucks, planes, that kind of thing. Haven't found a lot. I guess planes are in enough demand that no one has to like create programs like this, right? It's probably like they create the program and put a price on it, and people pay the price, like take a loan to pay the price and then repay the loan with whatever, right? I assume. And those loans are way bigger they are like 60 grand or something like this, right? 60 to 100 grand is like plain license. So yeah, for example, I'm not sure if I will do that. For example, yeah, trading actually, and like it's like trading 2 years versus paying 60 grand. It's like how much do you value your time, or something like this. I don't know. I don't know how the calculation goes, to be honest. But yeah, those are the conditions. I got given some tips. So tomorrow I will probably stream me playing the game, the train game, to get a little bit into the mood. And yeah, that's basically it. That's all I had to say today. I recorded the video already. I guess I am planning on making like I'm planning on making several channels, right? Did you like get the job? Not yet. I got told that they are going to call me for the interview, right? And I didn't get the call scheduling the interview yet. So yeah, this is still all in the air. So yeah, so far they provided info and asked a little bit for like my profile, like my things, right? They asked, okay, what are you? But they didn't ask many things, right? I do have a little bit of. I am a little bit afraid that they are going to. I am going to be a little bit overqualified. I don't think so. I think they will take me in, but because they need people or whatever. But if anything, I do think that maybe having too much of a degree in a technical field, maybe it is a hindering thing, because she asked a little bit about like climbing or something, right? She asked me herself something like, "Are you interested in like engineering or something, right?" As in something like this, and I was like, "Sure, right?" And then I was like, "Okay, you told me about this before. What are the options in case you are an engineer?" And then she told me something like, "Oh, you can be like 2 years. You have to be like 2 years working for them. It's like the contract, but if you change from within the same company to a different position or whatever, you don't get like a penalization, right? It's like if you leave your position, if you leave the train job earlier, you have to pay something. You have to pay money, right? There is a penalization. But if you just change jobs within the company, if you think it's a good gateway to better things, then sure, why not? I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure if it's a good gateway for better things. I think it's a decent opportunity for these next 3 years, right? It postpones me thinking about things for 3 years, which it's nice. And it gives me a experience driving a train, which is something I think it's funny, right? So, yeah. I don't know, maybe it's the niche I needed, right? Maybe I will make train videos, and since I'm a railway engineer, people will watch them, something like this, right? Who knows? Maybe Koskoro Drift was just a phase, and the next phase is Koskoro Rail. Actually, maybe that could be an interesting channel. I think my next, and I don't know, because I think I will have like several channels. I will have like 7 YouTube channels or something like this. Because the other channel, I want to make a channel that is about the licenses thing, right? I want to make it a project so that it becomes a project, right? And if I get hired for this, when I start going to the language courses, I will start the channel, right? I will start the channel about licenses because I am in Spain, so I can record the first video that I need for this, which are videos of my driving school, the place where I actually learned to drive. So that is the first video of my licenses YouTube channel, And then the next thing, and then I have like a lot of time to document the process of me getting my train license, which I think I will make a separate channel aside, and then I wanted to make a different channel altogether about some other things that I'm reading a lot lately, and yeah. So I will end up having like a factor of channels, and then I have a car channel actually that I don't use a lot, to be honest, but maybe this kickstarts something, right? I don't know. Maybe this channel frenzy kickstarts something, maybe not, maybe the opposite, right? Maybe I'm too busy to do things. It's very possible. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Because maybe it's like, technically I don't have to buy a car, right? I don't, because they told me that these kind of places, the accommodation that they offer is well positioned to go to this place where they teach you by rail, obviously, right? Actually, by using the same trains that you drive later, which is funny. But maybe I will buy a car anyways, right? Maybe because I'm going to be like 3 years in Germany, right? So maybe I will buy a car anyways. And maybe that starts my car channel, right? Maybe that kickstarts my car channel or something like this, because maybe the car I buy is like interesting enough for me to think of this, right? And maybe this channel gets a little bit dead, or maybe the opposite, right? Maybe I stream still. I don't know. I don't know the future. I do know that if I get hired or like accepted, let's say, until March, I will barely stream. I will only stream maybe on Saturdays and Sundays or something like this, right? Or maybe I will stream from the phone in the bus, something like that, right? Streams like those, or in the morning, that kind of thing. I think I will just stream less and make video. And instead of streaming, I will make a video, right? Like the video that I made today of like just random talk or whatever. I think I will make those types of videos. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe tomorrow. Let's see. Ideas for tomorrow. Control. Things to buy with the money. I already have a list of things I want to buy with the money, but now I want to make a new one, considering the amounts that I know already, when they are going to hit, which is end of October, right? And considering priority. For example, I'm thinking glasses. I need new glasses for sure, and those things, right? Stream on job with iPhone. I know I can't do it because these people are like super regulated for sure. But if I could, that would be so fucking awesome. Like if I can manage German bureaucracy to the point where I record things, it would be so epic, to be honest. Okay, you have actually given me an interesting thing to think about. Preguntas nuevas. Grabar. Let's see. Posibilidad de grabar el proceso.
If they tell me no, you can't record anything, I will say okay, no problem. But if they let me, I do want to record some things, right? It's like I will tell them like I'm not going to record the whole class and publish it, even though that probably would be cool, no, right? But yeah. And yeah, I thought, it would be so fire to stream with the glasses, right? I'm sure that by the time I graduate, 2026 it is, there will be better Ray-Ban glasses, the glasses with the camera from Amazon. No, sorry, from Meta, from Facebook. Ray-Ban Meta glasses. I want those already. But I'm sure there will be a second version that is better, right? Those have to be so fire for this kind of like a railway job where you have to like do this, and it's kind of impressive because it's a cabin that not many people see, right? Those things are cool, to be honest. So I would really love to stream there. So yeah, I think that's it for today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for swinging by and for listening to my random shit. Because Hanyo left. Hanyo had to go to see a friend or something. He was at the beginning, as you saw in chat, but now he's not here. Not sure if you can see the viewers or not. I think you can, right? But yeah. So yeah, thank you for being here and for listening. How have you been, by the way? I have 10 minutes more. So if you want to quickly say how... Well, not really quickly. In 10 minutes, you can say everything, basically. But, well, not everything, but you can say a lot in 2 minutes. You have something you want to say? Or update me on something that you're going through or whatever? Blitzer658 or whoever that showed up the other day, MX from Twitter, he's from the Middle East. He's from, if I recall correctly, either Lebanon, Saudi Arabia, or actually like properly Israel or something like this, right? I think some of those countries, right? And he's always kind of subtweeting the things going on there. Oh, because I remember the kind of talk that you guys had between blue collar and white collar and all this, right? Oh, still getting ghosted by companies and just now getting back to play chess just to keep my mind running. Chess, interesting. I had a chess question the other day. I had this. Photos y videos. This. Is this a draw? The one at the top is a rook. These are queens. These are kings. Then someone said, yes, it's a stalemate. And white can't move. And then English ChatGPT said that this is not a draw because black can win on a few steps. Oh, by the way, it is white's turn. Correct. If it's white's turn, it's a stalemate. It is white's turn. If it's black's turn, it's not, right? If it's black's turn, black could do something like this or something like that, right?
If it's black's move, he's winning. If I recall correctly, it was white's move. It's like, I'm not sure what the fuck black did. The king was there. I'm not sure what happened. I think the tower was here. and my friend just did this or something. I don't know. I think he wanted to sacrifice himself or something. He did this, and then he gave up. He threw his own king there and said, I give up. So the other person won. But yeah. Because the other person had refused to eat his queen or something like this. Right. So yeah, that was my chess question. Okay. Now, GG's. Good luck on your company's search. If you can wait 3 years, I have a referral thing for the train company. The train company lets you refer people. But yeah, hope you find something in less than 3 years. Goodbye. Thank you for being here. Three years. Yeah, it's like half a year until I learn the language, then half a year. No, then like a year. Oh, actually, no, it's like less, a little bit less. Then a year, more or less. No, it's like, because it's a year and a half, almost a year and a half of training, like training, and then I can refer people. So, for 2 years, actually. Goodbye.